Hey friends, today we're going to be looking at Lavender Extreme from Barrett Fragrances. Let's talk about it. All right guys, John here from Proverbs 27:9 Fragrances. And like I said, today we're going to be doing a review of a fragrance from Barrett Fragrances. It's called Lavender Extreme. Go ahead if you would and make sure you are subscribed to the channel, like the video, do all those things, and have the notifications turned on. That way you're notified every time we upload this sweet smelling fragrance related content. And today this fragrance is a sweet smelling fragrance. This was sent to me by Barrett Fragrances at my request. I had seen them popping up on my Instagram feed, and I sent them a message. I said, hey, I'm a reviewer. I would love to smell some of your fragrances. I've seen some other fragrance reviewer friends reviewing some of yours, and so if you would like for me to, review something, send it my way. I'll be glad to. And they responded back, said, hey, we'd love to. We checked out your channel. Just pick something from our category and we'll send it to you. And this fragrance, I had just seen an advertisement for it. And what it is their version of Tom Ford's Lavender Extreme. And so this is called, and I may have called this Lavender Extreme, but this is, oh, you're going to see my camera there, but this is Lavender Overdose. Okay, Lavender Overdose. Again, Barrett Fragrances. So this was the first time having one in my hand from Barrett, and I've got to tell you, I'm impressed with the quality of their presentation. Sure, it's a stock bottle. It's a nice stock bottle. A lot of attention to details. So they've got a plaque on the front of the bottle rather than a sticker. They've got a nice heavy cap. It's got like knurling around here. You've got the Barrett Fragrances on the top. It is a metal cap. It's plastic filled. And then a very adequate atomizer. It's not pressurized. It's nothing, to write home about, but it's a good atomizer, does the job, but it just feels good in your hand. It is a very nice, thick glass. Again, good sprayer, placard on the front. Very sleek, clean presentation. The box is form fit to the fragrance. So there's not, a lot of fragrances you'll have, for instance, let me show you. Like for instance, this La Leak box. This thing's huge. It's got, kind of a, cutout spot to hold the bottle in it. The box, quite a bit bigger than the bottle. They went for a more trim, fit design. So the box and the bottle are pretty much the same size, just enough room to slide it in. And I think that's smart on their part. Gold foil, printing with some white on the back as well, but nothing fancy, just adequate. And so here's the thing. I said that this fragrance is based on Tom Ford's Lavender Extreme. I don't have that fragrance to compare it to. I smelled that fragrance one time. It's a very expensive fragrance. It's a hard to find fragrance. I smelled it in Seoul, South Korea at the Tom Ford boutique at the airport. It was also the first place I'd ever smelled Tom Ford Grey Vetiver. I was just getting into fragrances, and actually like essential oils kind of helped me get back into fragrances. If you know my story, my dad was a door-to-door perfume salesman back in the 80s. And so I got into fragrances kind of to reconnect with my dad and all this stuff. And I was big on lavender. I saw Lavender Extreme. I smelled it. I looked at the price tag. I was like, well, I can't afford that. I remember it smelling great, but I remember it smelling more, to me at that point in time, I thought it was a lady's perfume rather than a unisex fragrance. So I don't have that one to go by. I remember it smelled like a soft, powdery, very lavender forward fragrance. Really, again, at the time I wasn't a reviewer, so, I didn't take mental notes of any particular details of it. But I don't have it, but I have the fragrance that fragrance was based off of. And it is this one here, and that is Coron's Pour Homme de Coron. Lavender Extreme. Tom Ford loved this fragrance. And when he made Lavender Extreme, he wanted to make a version of this just way more bold. This fragrance is known for vanilla and lavender. There's musk, there's amber, there's citruses. This was a early 1900s fragrance. It has a lot of notes listed, like heliotrope and all these different things. But what you know this fragrance for is lavender, musk, and amber, and vanilla, Lavender and vanilla, the two main prominent notes. And that's what I remembered from Tom Ford's Lavender Extreme. And that's what you really get a good dose of in Barrett Parfums or Barrett Fragrances Lavender Overdose. Again, I'm going to give me a refresher here. This is an extrait de parfum, and you can see that sheen, that shine. There's a lot of oil in this. But even from the first blast, there's not much of an alcohol smell to it. The alcohol, what little you can smell at that first blast has gone pretty quickly. Again, it's a very concentrated fragrance. I didn't get on their website. I didn't really ask any questions to find out what their oil levels are, but you can tell that it is a very thick, dense, oil-heavy fragrance. But what you get when you get this, first of all, the first thing that stands out is the lavender. You have to love lavender to love any of these fragrances. If you don't love lavender, you won't love this. If you don't love lavender, you won't love this. And if you don't love lavender, of course, you won't love Lavender Extreme. But there's like a slight citrus note that comes out in the top. I don't know if it's bergamot or lemon, something in that. It's just subtly there to kind of give it some push and lift. But you get loads of lavender. There's some nice warm vanilla. There's a powdery touch to it. Probably, I think Lavender Extreme has two different types of tonka bean in it. Tonka bean comes across sweet. Tonka bean can also come across powdery. So the powdery could be from that. It could be that there is some iris or some violet or some floral, maybe rose. There's definitely some floral notes in here. Can't really pick out what they are. It's very, very well blended together. And it's very round, very smooth, very warm, very rich. There's a cinnamon note that gives it just this nice little spicy kick. And so what I did, I kind of sprayed this earlier on my left hand. I sprayed Coron Pour Homme on my right hand. The Coron fragrance is a little more woody, a little more masculine, gentlemanly. This is much more soft, but also at the same time robust. It does not smell to me now, having been around fragrances for long, this is very unisex. I would say masculine leaning slightly, but on a feminine, on a female skin, it's going to lean feminine. On a man's skin, it'll probably lean more masculine. I can wear this, and again, if you're watching this channel, you probably know that I like bold, robust, masculine fragrances. Lots of woods, lots of spices, not huge on the florals, not huge on, powdery touches and all that, although I do like them in certain situations. So, having said this, the fact that I'm saying that I would actually wear this myself, I think should let you know that this is very unisex, and men can wear this and not feel, again, out of place or like an old grandma, unless you don't like lavender. Now, that's the big caveat. And so not being able to compare it to what it is intended to be a clone or a representation of. I can't tell you that it's a perfect one-to-one, representation of Tom Ford Lavender Extreme. But what I can tell you is that from, again, my memory of it, it's very close. But I can say that this is very high quality, high level, niche level perfumery. This is not cheap clone, Middle Eastern clone house level of, again, a clone, if that's what they are. And again, I probably should have talked to whoever sent me this to ask them, are y'all a clone house? Are you, are you strictly doing, representations? Are these just supposed to be kind of loosely? I don't know all that. Again, this is my first taste of this house, but what I can tell you is it's very high quality. You're not going to be disappointed in the quality of the juice inside or the presentation. I mean, you can see it if you like the way that looks. Not much different than a Raja. I understand there's no Swarovski crystals in this, but this is a nice heavy metal cap, nice metal plaque, nice thick square glass bottle, right up my alley. I'm one that asked Guerlain to start putting all of their fragrances in the square glass bottles. I just like a nice clean presentation like that, and that's what you get. So again, very vanilla, cinnamon, lavender forward, slightly powdery, very robust, sweet, opulent. This would be a great cold weather fragrance, and it'll be my scent of the day. I'll post that on Instagram. Let me know what you think about Barrett. Let me know what you think about this fragrance, Tom Ford Lavender Extreme, if you have any experience with that. If you're looking for something in that wheelhouse of either one of those, because even this one sometimes is very hard to find and expensive. So here is a place where you can get a very affordable fragrance that, honestly, is probably even higher quality than the Quran fragrance. So, all right, guys, like, subscribe, do all those things till we see you down the road. I say God bless and frag on frag.